I think Rachel Hurd is here somewhere, but if not,
We'll get her.
She'll be here a bit later.
I'll get her. Do y'all swear to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
and I've asked that their qualifications as zoning administrators be recognized and their testimony tonight be considered expert testimony for the record. The first item on the agenda tonight is a request for a variance, and the second was a request for a waiver, and the second's actually a request for variance. But they're very similar in what you must prove in order to prevail. The board must find on either a request for a waiver or a request for variance that it will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, that it will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, that it will not cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public, that it will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations. And with respect to the waiver, in addition to those findings or certain other findings, they're in section 3.8.4.f of the zoning ordinance that the board has to make. On the conditional use permit and everything else on tonight's docket is a request for conditional use permit. Those findings are set forth in section 3.9.5 of the zoning ordinance. The board must find that the conditional use is not detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare in the zone in which it is proposed, that the use will not contribute toward an overburdening of municipal services, that the use will not constitute a nuisance, and that it adequately addresses the review criteria in section 3.9.4 of the zoning ordinance, and that it otherwise meets the requirements of the zoning regulations. And with each of these applications tonight, there are specific use standards that also must be addressed. But I referenced the review criteria in section 3.9.4, and I cannot stress this enough. That review criteria includes compatibility, and that particular section says that the applicant has the burden of proof to adequately address any of the review criteria which may apply to the property. So that means compatibility applies to every request. So you must adequately address compatibility and demonstrate to the board why you think that's compatible in a particular zone in which your property may be located. Let's see, for a passing vote, you just need a majority of those present. If anyone's dissatisfied with the decision tonight, you have 30 days to file an appeal, and that would go directly to the Warren Circuit Court. I believe that has it, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, sir. Our first request tonight, Foundation Christian Academy Incorporated, care of David Palman, has filed an application requesting a waiver of 508 square feet from the requirement that the maximum total sign face area for wall signs is 50 square feet in the AG zone for existing and proposed signage on the property located at 24803 Springs Road. This property is zoned AG agriculture. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting for the property on June 24th of this year. The current zoning of the property is ag. Current land use is public institutional. And then looking to the site plan, there's no true site plan, but there's a summary of signs on page 8 of your staff report, and that's what's on the screen before you. They are requesting a waiver of 508 square feet from the requirement that the maximum total sign face area for wall signs is 50 square feet in the ag zone. This request is for the existing and proposed wall signs, and so there are two different exhibits in your packet detailing the existing signs and proposed signs for the property. So looking down, sign standard summary table, in Article 4, the maximum total sign face area for wall signs is 50 square feet in the ag zoning. The waiver findings are on the bottom of page 1, and so then looking over to page 2, at the top of the page, there is a narrative provided by the applicants pertaining to their waiver request. And with that, looking back to page 1, there are no points to consider pending public hearing testimony and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does the board have any questions of the staff? Any questions of the staff? Is the applicant, someone representing the applicant here? Okay. Does the board have any questions of the applicant? It's pretty cut and dry. All right, motion, please. Oh, excuse me, is anybody against this request? Any opposition? Motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the request for a waiver, docket number 2025-V-14, a waiver of 508 square feet from the requirement that the maximum total sign face area for wall signs is 50 square feet in the agriculture zone. The testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the granting of this variance and waiver will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause a hazard or nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations.
That's proper motion.
Motion of Ms. Atkinson, second by Mr. Lockwood.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Munford?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Chair Davenport?
Yes, your request has been approved, sir. Thank you all for coming down. Good luck to you. Our next request tonight, Live the Dream Development, Inc., care of Katie Miller, has filed an application requesting a variance of 4.52 feet from the required 10-foot incompatible land use buffer located at 1225 Old Barren River Road. This property is zoned RM3, townhouse, multifamily residential. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting on June 25th of this year for the property on Old Barren River Road. The current zoning of the property is RM3. Current land use is multifamily residential. And then their site plan can be found on page 7 of your staff report. There might be some images that are quite large and we will toggle through to the site plan, but it's on page 7. The applicants are requesting a variance of 4.52 feet from the requirement that all buffers located between incompatible land uses must be a minimum of 10 feet in width in order to further develop the property with additional multifamily dwelling units. Looking down to the middle of the page, it's section 4.68D2D, all buffers similar to what I just read. The variance is of 4.52 feet from the required 10-foot buffer. Variance findings are on the bottom of page 2 for your reference, and then on the top, or bottom of page 1, excuse me, and then on the top of page 2, the applicant has supplied a narrative for your reference, and the board should consider if the applicants have adequately addressed the findings required for granting the variance. And so looking back to page 1, there are no points to consider pending public hearing and testimony here tonight. That's all that I have.
All righty, any questions of the staff from the board? And there is a need for this type of housing, isn't there?
It has been expressed by the applicants that there is a need for this.
Okay.
type
Is the
of housing.
applicant here, someone? Okay, thank you very much. Does the board have any questions of the applicant? Do we have any opposition to this request? Any opposition? Motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the request for a variance, docket number 2025-V-15, a variance of 4.52 feet from the required 10-foot incompatible land use buffer. The testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the granting of these variances and waiver will not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations.
All right.
Is a proper motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Atkinson, second by Mr. Lockwood.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Munford?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Chair Davenport?
Yes, your request has been approved, ma'am. Thank you. Good luck to you there. Our next request tonight, TZ Campy, applicant and owner, and Com10L owner, have filed an application requesting a conditional use permit to operate a limited meat processing facility on the properties located excuse me, at 2630 Bill Dedman Road and 0 Bill Dedman Road, approximately 5,198 feet north of Glen Lily Road. The properties are zoned AG agricultural. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, of course, this application was originally heard at the June 12th meeting. We tabled for additional information. So we had a follow-up meeting with the applicant on June the 25th for that. And current zoning of this property is agriculture. The current land use is agriculture and single-family residential. And again, the applicants are requesting a CUP for a limited meat processing facility. We have some photos here. They might be a little distorted, but we can move through a few of those. And then this is the site plan that the applicant has supplied. Looking down at the zoning ordinance reference, Article 5, Section 5.1, Use Table, a conditional use permit is required to operate a meat processing facility on property zoned agriculture. Below that are the specific use standards for the use. We look over at page 2 for the conditions that the applicants have agreed upon. Number 1, hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Friday. Number 2, maximum number of employees will not exceed 2. Number 3, facility will have a bathroom and septic tank certified by the Warren County Health Department. Number 4, driveway access will be coordinated with the Warren County Public Works Department. Number 5, total square footage of all proposed and future buildings associated with the use will not exceed 10,000 square feet. Number 6, all slaughtering and processing operations shall only occur indoor in the metal shop building depicted on the site plan. Number 7, there will be no signage on the property. Number 8, animals involved in the meat processing operation shall be limited to poultry, goats, hogs, and cattle. Number 9, all waste will be disposed of according to and in compliance with state and local regulations. Number 10, any buildings associated with the meat processing operation will have an exterior comprised of metal. Number 11, poultry shall be kept in the pole barn as depicted on the site plan. All other animals involved in the meat processing operation will be kept within a fenced pasture area as depicted on the site plan. Below that are the conditional use permit findings for your reference. Looking back to page 1 to points to consider. The Board of Adjustment should consider if the proposed use is compatible with the surrounding area and existing uses adjacent to and near the properties, and if it will alter the character of the area. And the board should consider if the proposed use will constitute a nuisance in the area. That's all we have for a staff report. There should be an additional insert on your desk. I think you guys proposed some questions to the applicant at the June meeting, and those are his responses, and I think he's prepared to answer those.
And this can be included in the conditional, if we approve this, this can be part of the conditional use approval?
I think that's more of,
Informational.
yeah,
Okay.
on a few of those.
Yeah.
So,
All right, anything else from the board, staff? Okay, right. Any questions from the board or the staff? Thank you, ma'am. Applicant is here? Yes. You want to come up? We want the applicant first. Yeah. No, the applicant
No.
first. Sir,
Sir.
the applicant first. You wait till we get done talking to him.
Okay, I'm
Thank
sorry, I apologize.
That's all right, no problem. And we need to swear you in, your full name and address.
My name is TZ, the address 2630, Bill at Monroe.
Do you swear to tell the truth, sir? And I assume you are the interpreter?
Yes, sir.
I guess we'll swear you in to your full name and address.
Call sign Noam, address is 1118 Regis O'Connor Boulevard.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All righty. It looks like we have a little more information tonight. What questions does the board have of the applicant at this time? Any questions of the applicant? Courtney?
I do. I just want to confirm that the goats, hogs, cattle, anything, I think, other than chickens, he intends to raise on the farm, on the property.
Other than the hogs, goats, and
Other
cattle.
than, I think it says goats, hogs, and cattle will be kept in fenced pasture on the property. And I guess my question is that livestock he's going to raise?
So he bong tu le I bok ta pen ma ta nang na wang a kem dia nang le nang in me di ma ta chi.
Dia kadar company pan order so na company pan ko order tanga kem di je.
Oh, okay. So he will order those from like a company and then he will.
Okay, so okay. So, yeah, he's not bringing them, okay.
Does he have any experience in this type of business?
Experience ที่ด่านนั่นเองนะจี
Nei mai hi pen kan company dang azong bali la mo. Florida lama Orlando lama bali la.
He say he went to Florida to see how other people do it too and do not experience like จะนั่งเล่นนั่งเงินที่ด่านของนะฮิงนะจีข้อลำของไอ้ตรงนี้นะแกน
Hi te bel sabol lam bel isiam samo. Isiam isep ngai sa ikudan nei ma ji.
He like growing up in where he is from, like where he is. He was raised in a village in a farm, and so
He was raised on a farm.
yeah, where we grew
Okay.
up is a village, so we all have our own farm. And we all have our own animals.
And the sheet that we have here, I'm sure he's familiar with it, that kind of gives some details. Yeah. Assuming if we approve this and we make this part of the application, he agrees to all of these things that he's put on here, to the numbers and all of the information on here.
So hilaya tuaki I think I pen mo ton tukim sa ki ara janga hilaya aksa pen jani pan jatum to ki janga ke pen nga pan som chi pen tukim mo ta. Yes.
Okay. This is a lot more information than we had last month. It's much better. One thing I do want to emphasize, though, before we even vote, he understands that if we approve this application, all we're approving is the location for him to operate this business. Our approval does not mean he can do the business. He has to get all the local, state, federal, environment, who all is involved with this type of thing. He has to get all the permits from them before he can actually open the business. All we're going to do is say this location will be okay.
Today hilaya mau pen on okay al mo to le me ang chia le pen amuna hilaya hi thei ma hi bek ong hilina ahya nga license a permit ki sam tom teng khai pen nang le nang in la hi phot ko mo to tu changa to ki changa pen sen thei pan mo tel mo ta yes.
Okay. And one other question. How does he, and it's part of our requirements, how is this compatible with that area there to put this type of facility in? The compatibility, will it alter the character of the neighborhood? Will it make it worse, better?
So tu la bang hilala om na di pen mo ta na beng le pam te pen tua dan sanga asse sak jona mai ke le a hoi sak jona m ji
Asesak zo lo ding asesak zo lo ding le kumpi tu ko lam bang kan sem ding mo.
So he say in order to not make it any worse, he's going to follow all the guidelines, regulations, and just like what we talked about in the planning, he's going to build a shop, a meadow, have a pool barn for the chickens and all the stuff, so that it will not make it any worse than what it would be.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Any other questions from the board or the applicant? You all have any questions? Thank you very much, ma'am. We might have some opposition, but we'll let you address that in a minute. Okay, any opposition to this request? Yes, sir. Come on up. Or questions? We need to get your full name and address.
I'm not in opposition to this.
Can I get your full name and address?
Oh, sure. My name is Michael Peary. I live here in town now, but I own the property that is adjacent to his house and the property that's, and the thing that's going to be.
Do you swear to tell the truth, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you go right ahead.
Yes,
Ask your
sir.
question.
What I'm concerned about, and some of my neighbors that I've talked to out there, I lived there for about 20 years when I was working at Fruit of the Loom. We're just concerned about how everything will be taken. And one thing that has been brought up by some of the neighbors is the odor that's going to happen when you have a process with animals. You do have an odor problem, and my house my trailer that I lived in for, like I said, for a long time, is right next to, I mean, it's a property, there's a fence that probably will a property line that needs to be taken care of too, you know. I just want to be sure that, I'm not really in opposition to it, but I just want to make, that I'm concerned about how things are going to change out there and everything.
As I was informing him, those are the questions that the EPA, the state, and the federal, they all have the guidelines to control that. We don't have any control over
Well,
that. But
I understand.
you know as well as I do, he's got a lot of hoops to jump through before he can get that thing done.
Oh, yes, I'm
And
very
he's gonna have-
understand.
and he's gonna
I
have to have
understand
a
about that.
smell and-
I just
and waste.
wanted to, I'm not, like I said, I'm not against it, but I just want the neighborhood to halfway stay close to
Sure.
the same. What
And
I'm
we do
saying.
too, yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, right now, this piece of property, we're redoing it, so I think in about 2 or 3 weeks, my son and his wife are gonna be moving out there.
Good.
And I'm just concerned about things, and it's something I just want to bring to your attention.
Sure.
I know he's been out there, they've lived out there for about, I'd say 6 months now, and nobody's ever, and maybe it's my fault too, we haven't come over there and said, hello, how you doing, and, just be a neighbor,
Sure.
But like I said, I'm not against it, but I just wanted to be sure that I've talked about 2 or 3 of the neighbors that one of them's across the street and the other one's down the road from me, that we're concerned about the changes that is going to be made. And I just wanted to state my opinion and let y'all know the way I feel about things, okay?
Mr. Chairman, one thing I might point out, in our information that they have provided, he will be using metal siding on his shop and facility. So our assumption is there's going to be some improvements to the property compared to what it is currently being presented as.
Thank you. I do believe that. And in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of changes out there. Because I lived there, like I said, about 20 years. And there wasn't too many changes now. I guess everything is like that. It's changing. And like I said, I'm not against it, but I just wanted to say my piece and hope, things don't get bad.
We have the same concerns as you do, sir, so thank
Okay.
you very much. We appreciate
Thank you, sir.
We
I
thank you for
appreciate it.
coming. All right. Any other opposition to this request? Any other comments? All righty, seeing none, a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the conditional use permit docket number 2025-C-25 for a limited meat processing facility with the conditions as presented in the staff report. The testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the use is not detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare in the zone in which it is proposed. The use will not contribute toward an overburden of municipal services. The use will not result in increased traffic congestion, additional parking problems, substantial increase in population density, environmental problems, or constitute a nuisance, that the use otherwise meets the requirement of the zoning ordinance.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lockwood. We got a proper motion? Motion, Mr. Lockwood, and second by Ms. Atkinson.
Mr. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mr. Munford,
Yes.
Ms. Price,
Yes.
Ms. Atkinson,
Yes.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Chair Davenport.
Yes, your request, his request has been approved, and we appreciate you with a much better detail we have this month than last month. And thank you for coming down, too. Thank you very much. He has to go through all the applications and hoops, but he can go from our part so far. All right, thank you all very much. Our next request tonight Shelby and Matthew Hingle have filed an application requesting a conditional use permit to operate an agritourism use, more specifically for U-pick fields, seasonal festivals, photography sessions, retreats, workshops, small weddings, and receptions and group events such as birthday parties, baby and birthday showers. Anything else we can add in there? On the properties located at 0 and 2240 Hammond Hill Road. Property is zoned AG agricultural. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's a lot, but it's a good thing that they listed every potential event they might
That's
have.
right.
Just
That's
so
good.
the public and you are aware of what might occur
That's
there.
right.
But we had a pre-application meeting originally back in January of 2024. We decided back in June, they were looking to actually submit at that time. So we had another pre-application meeting just to brush up on things. So we have had one very recently with this property. Current zoning is agriculture. Current land use is agriculture. And again, the applicants are requesting a conditional use permit for an agritourism use to include U-pick fields, seasonal festivals, photography sessions, retreats, workshops, small weddings and receptions, and group events such as birthday parties, baby and bridal showers. Below that is a zoning ordinance reference. In Article 5, Section 5.1, the use table, a conditional use permit is required to operate an agritourism use on property zoned agriculture. Below that is the zoning ordinance reference and all of the specific use standards that are required of agritourism. Looking at the bottom of page 2, begins their conditions. Number 1, hours of operation will be 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. with no outdoor music or noise occurring after 11 p.m. Days of operation shall be 7 days a week with seasonal U-pick uses occurring at the owner's discretion. Looking over to page 3 for condition number 2, agritourism uses should be limited to a maximum of 100 guests on the property, except in the event of a seasonal festival. Designated seasonal events shall be permitted up to 4 times per year and not to exceed more than 350 guests on the property at one time. Number 3, here again are those uses. Uses on the property will include U-pick fields, seasonal festivals, photography sessions, retreats, workshops, small weddings, receptions, and group events such as birthday parties, baby and bridal showers. And condition number 4, the event venue will not the event venue will be a maximum of 2,000 square feet. Below that are the conditional use permit findings for your reference. Looking over at page 1 to the points to consider, the board should consider if the proposed uses are appropriate in the ag zone and if they are compatible with the single-family residential uses that are in the vicinity. And the board should consider if event venue will result in increased traffic congestion in the area. And just as a side note here, the applicants were approved for a CUP in 2021 for 3 short-term rentals on the properties. That's all we have for staff report. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board or the staff? Applicants are here. We might have a couple questions for you. Would you mind stepping up so we can get swear you in and ask a couple questions? Your full name and address?
Shelby Hingle, 4120 Hammett Hill Road.
And you swear to tell the truth, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
The only question I've got is when you say up to 350, that's a lot of people.
Right.
You think maybe we could knock that down
What do you think?
100 or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be okay with that. Because we have never done anything like this, we didn't know where to put that number. But that is something that Amy and I discussed, was that I'm definitely willing to go down. I'm just not sure.
Yeah. You
How
think a
many
couple
people?
hundred might be okay?
250?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in that area, okay.
Yeah.
If we decide to. And another question, you've got a lot of property out there, and I assume you're going to kind of make the road a little bit easier to get in and out of there.
Yes.
It's kind of rough getting back there.
Yes.
And do you intend to widen that where 2 vehicles
To 18
could get?
feet. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, the specific use standards for agritourism require a travelway of 18 feet, so they'll have to be.
Okay, so you
Yes.
understand that. And you're not, I know you got a lot of things on here, but you're not going to have any concerts out there like bring in Sam Bush and have a concert, nothing like that.
No. Now, if we get that big, I'll be back.
All right. Any other questions from the board of the applicant? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is there any opposition to this request? Do we have any opposition? Seeing none, a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the conditional use permit, docket number 2025-C-35 for agritourism with the condition as presented in the staff report. The testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the uses are not detrimental to public health, safety, or welfare in the zone in which they are proposed. The use will not contribute towards an overburdening of municipal services. The uses will not result in increased traffic congestion, additional parking problems, substantial increase in population density, environmental problems, or constitute a nuisance. That the use otherwise meets the requirement of the zoning ordinance, and the driveway will be widened to 18 feet to make it permissible for traffic both ways.
You going to leave it at 350, the number of people?
Yes, and it's conditional use that it would be cut down to 250 persons.
All right.
Proper motion.
Proper motion. Second to the motion?
Second motion.
Second by Mr. Mumford. A motion by Mr. Lockwood, and second by Mr. Mumford.
Mr. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mr. Munford,
Yes.
Ms. Price,
Yes.
Ms. Atkinson,
No, I believe it's inappropriate for the parking and traffic for that particular location on Hammett Hill.
Mr. Howell,
Yes.
Chair Davenport.
Yes, your request has been approved. 250 max now. Okay, thank you all very much for coming down. Our next request tonight is Artax Remodeling LLC, care of Heather Black, has filed an application requesting a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental on the property located at 649 Old Drake Temperance Road. The property is zoned RE Residential Estate. Rachel, you swear to tell the truth, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry for my tardiness.
That's
I
all
had
right.
another meeting that ran over.
No problem.
All right, we'll jump right in here. We had a pre-application meeting back in June for the property at 649 Old Drake Temperance Road. And the property is currently zoned RE with a land use also of single family. And the applicants have requested a conditional use permit to operate a short-term rental. Looking down at the bottom of page 1, you'll see the specific use standards that apply to such use. And looking at section 5.1 of the zoning ordinance, you'll see that is where a conditional use permit is required to operate a short-term rental on property zoned RE residential estate. We've got the site plan on the screen for your reference, and with that, I'm going to jump on to page 2, and we're going to review the applicant's supplied conditions. The first is that there will be a maximum of 2 rooms for rent. Number 2, rooms will not be individually rented. Number 3, a maximum of 3 guest vehicles in the designated parking area. 4, quiet hours will be from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And 5, there will be no signage on the property. And then last, number 6, if the property is ever sold or the applicant ceases the use, the CUP will be null and void. On page 1, we have a few items for your consideration. The first, the board should consider if the proposed use is compatible with the surrounding area, including the existing single-family residential uses that are located adjacent to the property and in the general vicinity. Second, the board should consider the impact on permanent workforce housing availability in this part of the county if the existing single-family residence is converted into a short-term rental. And last, staff requested that the applicants provide clarification on the number of bedrooms for rent, as the home was recently listed for sale. It has since been removed, but the listing did include 3 bedrooms. However, the condition states 2 rooms for rent, and the applicants did not provide clarification at the time of the authoring of the staff report. That is all I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the staff of the board, from the board of the staff? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the applicant here? Are you applicant? Okay. Does the board have any questions of the applicant?
I think we need clarification on the rooms.
Would you step up so we can swear you in, ma'am? Well, I was thinking on your full name and address, please.
Heather Black, and it's 1916 Homer Murray Road, Bowling Green, Kentucky, 42104.
You swear to tell the truth, ma'am?
I do.
Courtney, go ahead.
So first, it was apparently listed to be for sale. So were you previously the owner of the property and you've kept the property, or have you purchased the property?
I purchased the property about maybe a year, a little bit over a year ago, and had intentions on fixing it up and just selling it. But the market was kind of stagnant. It's a beautiful spot just to kind of get out of the country. So I decided just to see if I could get it approved as an Airbnb. The bedroom situation is, it is truly only 2 bedrooms above grade. There is a basement that is finished that has no closet, no windows, no fire exits.
So it was not a legitimate bedroom?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So it's only 2 bedrooms that could truly be rented.
Is your backyard in Simpson County or Allen County?
You know, it is all, I'm not sure. I was gonna say I'm so far out, I don't know if I have to talk to every county or not, but I honestly think it's all in Warren, but I am, you know, you could throw a ball in almost out of the county, so I don't think traffic or anything is gonna propose an issue.
One other question I've got, obviously, it looks like you're doing some work on it. You are going to have that drive, a circle drive where they won't have to back out onto that road. They can pull in and it's a circle drive in front of the house. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Any other question of the applicant from the board? We have any opposition to this request? Any opposition? Motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the conditional use permit docket number 2025-C-38 for a short-term rental with the conditions as presented in the staff report. The testimony presented in the public hearing has shown that the use is not detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare in the zone in which it is proposed. The use will not contribute toward an overburdening of municipal services. The use will not result in increased traffic congestion, additional parking problems, substantial increase in population density, environmental problems, or constitute a nuisance. That the use otherwise meets the requirements of the zoning ordinances.
Proper motion.
Motion by Ms. Atkinson, second by Mr. Lockwood. I did ask for opposition, didn't I? Did I ask? Okay. Okay.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Munford?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Chair Davenport?
Yes, your request has been approved, ma'am.
Thank you.
And good luck to you there.
Thank you.
Our next request tonight, and our last request tonight, Holy Apostles Anti-Achin Orthodox Mission Care of West McAdams has filed an application for a conditional use permit for an existing religious institution on the property located at 4358 Small House Road. And this property is zoned AG agricultural. Rachel.
Thank you again, Chair Davenport. We had a pre-application meeting back in July for the property at 4358 Small House Road. And the applicants have requested a conditional use permit in order to expand the existing religious institution that is located on the property. The current religious institution use is legal nonconforming. However, the church is proposing to expand and therefore must come into compliance with the current zoning requirements. The current zoning is ag, and you'll see in section 5.1 of the use table in the zoning ordinance that a conditional use permit is required to operate a religious institution in this zone. The current land use is public institutional, and we have a few of the property photos that we can flip through. And while, let's see, Ben's getting the site plan loaded, we will look down at the conditions on the bottom of page 1. The first being that the maximum congregation size will be 300 people. 2 new structures on the property will not exceed 12,000 square feet. 3, the addition to the existing church facility will not exceed 2,000 square feet. 4, there will be no more than 100 parking spaces. 5, access to the property shall be coordinated with the Warren County Public Works Department. And 6, church-related activities will take place between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. with exceptions for major religious holidays. On page 2, you'll see the conditional use permit findings there for your reference. But just really looking back on page 1, the staff had no points to consider pending public hearing testimony and discussion. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the staff of the board? Just for the record, I think there's at least 2, if not 3 other churches on that same stretch of road out there, this time I recall. Applicants are here. I assume you all are the applicants. You're the only ones left, it must be. Does the board have any question of the applicants? Any opposition to this request? Motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the conditional use permit docket number 2025-C-39 for a religious institution with the conditions as presented in the staff report. The testimony presented in this public hearing has shown that the use is not detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare in the zone in which it is proposed. The use will not contribute toward an overburdening of municipal services. The use will not result in increased traffic congestion, additional parking problems, substantial increase in population density, environmental problems, or constitute a nuisance. That the use otherwise meets the requirements of the zoning ordinance.
This is proper motion.
Motion by Ms. Atkinson, second by,
Second.
yeah. Second?
Yeah.
Okay, second by Ms. Price.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mr. Lockwood?
Yes.
Mr. Munford?
Yes.
Ms. Price?
Yes.
Chair Davenport?
Yes, your request has been approved, gentlemen. Thank you all for coming down. Good luck to you out there. Thank you all. All righty, any old business?
I have none.
New business?
Yeah.
I want to ask Rachel, can I ask you a question? Would it be real hard to find out how many short-term rental applications we've had over the last 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I think the last training we had, I'd already put together most of that. I haven't compiled anything for 25,
Okay.
but I can add those numbers in.
Could you, I just got something I want to kind of look at and make a point of. Could you bring those numbers to the next meeting?
Sure,
Just
we can provide those.
So, short-term rentals for the
Yeah, we
last
could put them in
3
your
or 4
packets or
years.
however
Yeah.
we can.
Is
Just
there
kinda-
any way to know if they're active?
That would be going through 160
No,
of them
that's
and or
what that was my point.
And
I'm
seeing-
not trying to get you guys to
Yeah,
go
we're
through
starting
one by
to do
one.
annual compliance checks of conditional use permits. And so I started from 2015 and I'm moving through 2017. And so there are some that have just sold since then and they had the null and void clause. So I think as we're moving through the years to come into compliance, I can
Yeah.
get that number
Kinda
together.
see
Yeah.
And
if you-
again, I'm not looking for an exact.
Yeah, I
that's what
think
curious.
2016, in 2016, there were 4 that were approved that are now non-operational just because it sold and they don't have that, they had that null and void clause.
And out of that total number, if you can tell how many we've approved and how many we've turned down.
Yeah, I have those numbers all the way through whenever we did that training
I'm
in
sorry to
2014, so I
interrupt.
can add
Yeah.
the rest in there.
If you bring
on
it
that.
next month, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
I'll do something. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I put a memo in your all's packets. We're looking at doing another training and just wanted your all's input on, there's some training topics there, if any of those are of interest to you. And then there's another line there that maybe those 4 are not of your interest and you have something else. We just let us know. And you can just check too that you're interested in and give that back to us.
Got
You
it.
don't have to, it can be anonymous, or you can, however you want, but if you could provide us back, then we can kind of tally to see what the board is, like what kind of training we actually need to provide you, that you think you might need, so,
We'll
That's
take
all I
all
have.
the training we can get.
fair enough. Fair enough.
What are you looking to me for? I get all my training. I do all my training. Any other new business? All right, we're adjourned then. Thank you all. Good job, ladies. Appreciate it.